I was diagnosed at 38. I had dense breast. I had fat breast. I was a 42H. And I'm black.
Yes. Like I was looking at those charts, so she broke it down by risk factor. And I'm thinking of just the genetic racial disparities that are there for dense breasts, for BMI, and then
Girl.
everybody hits like premenopause and that perimenopause stage can start a full decade before actual menopause. So you think about the average age for a woman to start menopause being 50, then 40 is the minimum because of all the changes her body is going through. Who are the women that she was studying?
Her.
Because if they weren't reflective of the population, then your results are very skewed. Model that they've built, this calculator, is only based off of like this much, which means they're going to miss this many people that could actually be at risk, that are going to download the calculator and go, oh, I'm good. I don't need to go for that mammogram, even though I'm 46 years old and showing
Right.
signs of, early menopause and I've never had a kid and blah, blah, blah. Like they're gonna, it, it's dangerous. I don't know.
You know, what you just said right there, that is very dangerous. And then it's also dangerous because for the ones that have been diagnosed and have um, become no evidence of disease, but then it comes back and they're doing everything that they possibly can to, survive. That's where I'm at, right?
And what about all of the other risk factors? What about those survivors and thrivers that we all know that exercise regularly, only eat organic, raw, all of this, and they end up with an advanced stage breast cancer and no family history of it. Like, we found this, and here are all the other questions, would have been a better way for her to present that. And here's what our calculator is showing so far, but we recognize that we need to also think about X, Y, and Z, and then start the alphabet over again because there's so many things that we don't. They did a 3D mammogram, wonderful. But if I didn't have the primary care physician that I have, I would have had a harder time getting the 3D ultrasound that actually found the lump that I had biopsied earlier this year, because the mammogram didn't see it because I have dense breasts. And it really shouldn't be a fight. This is my health you're talking about. And the one thing she said that was true is mammograms are just okay, because they're about 80% accurate, which is a high number. But then that means there's 20%, like mine, that slip through that aren't seen on mammogram that require some sort of supplemental in order to take the next steps. A different type of policy that I'm thinking of in terms of just regulating when your research can be shared in a form like this one. Yeah, publish it so I can read it and continue on my journey like the other researchers do. But if you're going to present in a form like this, then you have to meet these guidelines. So I've been at other conferences where there's not a policy in place globally, but there is a policy for the conference. And so in order to get your paper like accepted into the conference, you have to meet a certain criteria. And there's different questions that are asked. And I know this because I've been on those committees that are reading those papers and saying yes, no, maybe if they make these changes, etc. And so if 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 other conferences can do that at like a smaller level, then how come we can't do that at a global level and make it people centric? Like, does your research meet these criteria for the health and well-being of mankind? And then the scientific rigor, like the people come first. And if it doesn't meet that, then we don't care about the scientific rigor you put into it. We need more of your human touch in it.
Hearing about a calculator, a risk calculator for someone like me who is, I'm 44 now. Now, if I heard that at 38 when I was diagnosed, and for me, that kind of came back just listening to that. Like, that's great, But then hearing everything else that she's saying and us talking about it, is that a good thing? For the simple fact that we are dealing with AI now, and the generations that are coming, my nephews, nieces, all of them, that is going to be like, okay, I'm going to do everything that you guys say, the risk factors. Yeah, I'm going to, be gung-ho about that. Boom, you get cancer. Wait a minute. I just did everything you said. But see, then the woman I am now who takes heed to that is going to say, no, 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 which is what I had to do this morning in a support group. Slow down, sis. You are moving way too fast and you are doing chemo right now.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like that. So can you imagine if she had that risk calculator right now?
It makes people think it's a one and done, all or nothing. And it's really not that. We all know that even when you're diligent about your monthly self breast exams and your mammograms, that you don't know what the next screening is going to do, what your fingers are going to find, or what that mammogram is going to show. Because there's just so much. I mean, the human body is a remarkable and horribly terrifying space to be in because we don't know what's going to happen from one evaluation to the next.